Earlier, we told you that INEC is planning a mock accreditation exercise in November as part of preparations for the 2027 general election. Of course, the exercise will test the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, and other electoral equipment. Joining us from Abuja for this conversation is Austin Aigbe, who's an election observer and member of the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room. Mr. Aigbe, thank you so much for joining us on the news. Now, INEC says it is preparing early for 2027, including, of course, a nationwide BVAS mock accreditation exercise. From an observer's standpoint, should Nigerians be reassured by this, or is there still a lot more INEC needs to demonstrate?
Okay, thank you again, and sorry for the glitch. Yes, what is happening is that usually ahead of every election, every obstacle election, this was done in the FCT election, it was done in the Ekiti election, it was also done in the Osun election that ended a few days ago. It's a way to test this machine, whether they are ready or whether there are issues. In the Osun election, they were offsetting technical challenge with a BVAS device. But in the main election, it was almost seamless. One could argue that the mock test was the reason why INEC got it right on the election with the BVAS. The pace at which it accredited voters, sometimes in less than a minute, a voter's face is already, facial recognition is already done, and then the voter goes to vote. That was unique. And I think if that's the reason why, if that testing is the basis for that improvement in the Osun election, then the mock accreditation should be supported. My worry would be the resources that will be committed just to have a mock done, a mock exam done, like we used to do many years ago ahead of a JSS3 exam or primary 6 exam. But because we are going to be having this test, I don't know how many now. There are 176,000 plus polling units across the country.
INEC says it will need about 1.4 million ad hoc personnel for more than 176,000 polling units. That is quite a massive operation. How confident are you that INEC can recruit, train, and deploy that number without, compromising the quality of the election?
So half of the number, more than half of the number, will be coming from the National Youth Service Corps. And the National Youth Service Corps is a lot across the Federation. Having said that, there are other federal civil service staff members, members of the National Bar Association, the Bar Association, that's the lawyers, etc., who can also play a role in the election. Yes, I'm very confident that INEC can mobilize the 1,400 ad hoc personnel ahead of the election. I'm super positive about it.
Now, the BVAS, of course, is a conversation as well. I mean, it remains one of the most contentious elements of Nigeria's elections. What specifically should Nigerians be looking out for during this November mock exercise to determine whether the system is genuinely ready for the 2027 election?
So it's to look at the time it took for a single voter to go through that accreditation process. The accreditation process is simply when a voter comes to the polling unit with a PVC, and it goes ahead, that voter goes ahead to verify that that PVC that he or she brought is the owner of it. By going through a process known as accreditation. It is that accreditation process that is called, that the BVAS we need to use. So if it goes through properly, then we are super excited. Did it take up to a minute? Did it take 2 minutes? Did it take 10 minutes? I think, like I said, in Osun election, it took like almost immediately for that accreditation to be done.
Now, there's something quite interesting happening this time around. INEC is also introducing an artificial intelligence unit to support electoral processes and counter emerging threats. The question is AI a genuine opportunity to strengthen election integrity, or could it create a new layer of risks around, misinformation, manipulation, and most importantly, public trust?
We've actually, in the 2023 election, aftermath of the 2023 election, there were issues around the application of AI, and INEC needed to upscale its own internal mechanism by adopting artificial intelligence in its operation. We hope that INEC will use AI appropriately in terms of picking up events in real time. And that's the essence of it. And that's why INEC did set up that particular department, or I think it's a unit within the ICT, within the information ICT department. Having said that, today AI has come to stay in every aspect of our lives. In the 2020, in the Osun election, civil society organizations adopted AI to map the result sheet that were uploaded on the IREF, and it took like by 6 p.m. we were already close to 100% of the results that INEC had uploaded on the IREF. So what does AI have to do? Because people look at AI as the evil. I think, well, in any case, AI is the good, the bad, and the ugly. It has all of this, depending on what you're using. If you want to use AI for good, AI is truly available. And if you want to use it for evil, it's also available. I think what I need to do more is to strengthen the capacity of the IREF to be able to capture all the pictures of the result sheet at the polling unit on election day in 2027. INEC should avoid storing those results at the back end. That could lead to heavy loads at the back end and maybe some form of failure. What maybe glitches that INEC told us in 2023 election. What INEC need to do is the moment you are uploading, release it immediately. Don't store at the back end. Storage increases the capacity level. And once the capacity level fails, it becomes a challenge. And that's what we saw in Osun election. As results were uploaded, they were moved out immediately to the public view, rather than keep it behind like we have in the FCT election, where from all evidence we have, there was some form of delay. Results and election ended at 2:30. It took INEC much more than 2 hours or more, about 5:30 p.m., for the first result to appear by the public view. But in Osun, it wasn't like that. By 3:30, results were already on the public view on the area. That is important for INEC to do. But I think that beyond just accreditation, INEC should test the readiness of the IREF. Test on the day of election, on the day of the mock. Once results are counted, and I mean, you can just write a mock result, they need to upload it so citizens can go and view it. What do you need? You just need to write party A 10, party B 10. So you write up and upload at once. Let's see if the capacity of the IREF can accommodate maybe up to 100,000 polling units at a go. But in the 2023 election, it was not, I think it wasn't a problem of the IREF. I think it was a problem of the issue that INEC has refused to declare openly. I actually think because the Senate results were uploaded, the House of Reps results were uploaded. The same election we had on the same day, the presidential election, the Senate and the House of Reps. Why will you have these other two uploaded without any concern? Clinches didn't fail with those two. It is the same number at the end of the day, because the number of the Senate and number of the House of Reps accumulate to the presidential numbers.
All right, Mr. Aigbe, just before we wrap up this conversation, I need to know, looking at the controversies that have followed the previous elections, what do you think INEC must get absolutely right in 2027 for Nigerians to believe that their votes will not only be cast, but accurately counted and ultimately respected?
INEC should declare results at the polling unit. It's important. That's the rule. Declare results at the polling unit. Let the citizens at that polling unit record the appropriate result, transmit the result at the polling unit, ensure that result is transmitted. And for citizens must monitor that electoral officials transmit the results on election day. For citizens, once that result is transmitted in their own presence, they should go on the IREF immediately at the polling unit. Once you do that, that confidence will increase, and that's what happened in Osun election. There was nothing more. In the Ekiti election, the first result that went on IREF was about 4 p.m. But in the Osun election, it was about 3:30. That's about 1 hour difference. What it means is that if INEC can increase the level of upload of results, and why citizens are the polling and they are seeing it, and that is what we saw in Osun election. Citizens immediately went on the IREF at the polling unit, Osun, they click on Osun and they click on the local government Osogbo, click on the Ward 5, click on the polling unit 02. The result was already there. In less than 5 minutes, the result was on the public view. So if we do that, why will citizens not support INEC? I think that's why people talk about Osun election. Some people hide under whether it was a federal mind or citizens' mind. But for me, it was the citizens' mind that won the election. It is not whether Adeleke eventually won. If the opposition had won, the system was so clear that that opposition would have been declared winner. It was so clear. So what INEC need to do, and I think that's what they started with the proposal for mock accreditation in November, is to just not do accreditation. Also do upload IREF mock, do a mock of the IREF, so that we know that we will not have glitches in 2027. Anything that look like glitches should be avoided now and be treated appropriately. I've provided one solution to it. Don't keep the result at the back end. The moment it's coming in, let it be released immediately. Nobody should stop it, not even the ICT department. Do exactly what happened in Osun. Results were uploaded, citizens were already seeing it, right there while they were still at the polling unit. Even before the president left the polling unit, citizens have seen their results.
All right. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Austin Aigbe, for your time on the news.